introducing ourselves. Oh, yes, and we're recording. So if you are okay with recording, if you don't want your face to be recorded, you can just keep your camera off, no problem. But if you want to, you can wave at the camera and say hi with all of us. Cool. But yeah, let's get started. We want to go to the next slide. So we already did our Padlet map, but if you haven't logged yours yet, please do so. The link is in the chat. And it's just like a cool way for us to kind of see where we are across the United States today, or if you're in a different country too. All right, so we have a new executive committee, and I'll introduce myself, and then maybe we could just go around and introduce each other. So my name's Julia, and I'm the chair of our committee. And yeah, it's been really fun so far being a part of this executive committee. Everybody's really, really awesome in this group. But I will pass this on to Toby now.
Hi, everyone. And also, yes, thank you so much for being here. We're really excited to get started with this academic year, and we hope that this event is both informative for our members, and we hope that you take the opportunity to inform us as well regarding what you're interested in, since there is so much to think about within information science and technology. So we would love to hear what our members are interested in this academic year, so that we can invite speakers and tailor events to all of our continued professional development and learning. So yes, thank y'all for being here. And my name is Toby. I am Vice Chair and Membership Coordinator this year. And I'll pass to Quinn.
Hi, I'm Quinn. I'm the Secretary, Treasurer, and Social Media Coordinator this year. And I just wanted to also say, we're recording now, but at the end, we will turn the recording off so we can have more of an informal chat if you feel more comfortable with that. And I think we're going to advance the slide and pass it on to Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm the co-programming director along with Robin. And as Toby said, this is a good chance for us to be able to, because there's so many different facets of ASIST, to kind of narrow it down, which we'll talk about more later when we get to the programs.
Hi, I'm Robin. I'm co-programming director along with Lauren. I'm keeping my microphone mostly muted because I have a dog that's been intermittently whining at me during this. Also, I'm going to pop up a quick poll here that I forgot to pop up at the beginning. So we're also curious how many of you are members already and how many of you are just checking us out. And let's pass it on to Ari.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ariana, but you can call me Ari for short. I think the next couple of slides we'll get more into like our background, but I am the webmaster for ASIST, so I'll be assisting in kind of designing the website as well as posting blogs.
Okay, great. Sorry, I got so distracted looking at the poll that I didn't even know that my name was up there. Okay, so hi again. I'm Julia and my pronouns are she, her. I have background in child development. I also forgot to put my minor, but I had a minor in psychology and in art history. Love both those subjects dearly. And I started my MLIS this past January, and I'm hoping to graduate by 2023. Currently, I'm working as a therapy aide and an administrative assistant at a small business called Social Learning Works. And my dream career would be to be a usability analyst. I think that kind of stems from I've always worked with children who have learning differences, and I would love to make technology more accessible to some of the kids I work with. So yeah, I'm so happy to share a little bit about myself to you guys, and I hope to hear more about you later.
Thanks, Julia. It looks like we were almost exactly 50-50 on that poll as far as current versus a prospective member. So as we'll say multiple times, you do not have to be a member in order to attend our events. We hope that this event today gives you some insight into who we are and what we do, as well as the benefits of membership. But for the record, and again, we'll say this multiple times, you do not have to be a member to attend our events. It makes it easier to get information when they're coming up, but you can always follow us on social media and attend any event that you are interested in, regardless of membership. All right, and yeah, my name is Toby, pronouns are she, her. My background is in English and anthropology, come from a teaching background with ESL students and international students as well. But I am currently working as a mobile services associate, which basically means I work in and on the bookmobile for my local public library, and we serve folks in residential and adult facilities. Ideally, in the future, I don't have a specific title that I would be interested in, but I'm really interested in ethical implications within artificial intelligence and data science. And I would love to be able to do something in that arena to kind of hopefully ask some of those questions that I'm sure many of us share, which regarding where we're going, artificial intelligence, data-wise, and are we perpetuating inequalities and inequities, I would love to be able to kind of help answer some of those questions in the future. And thanks, Quinn.
Hi, I'm Quinn. I have a bachelor's in art history and degree in textile design, and I've been working as a textile designer in the fashion industry for 15 years. But I want to get out of the fashion industry, hopefully, and do something that is more service oriented. So that's why I'm looking at becoming, hopefully, an art librarian, visual resources curator, working in archives somewhere. So that's me, and I'll pass it on to Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I got my bachelor's in political science. I'm an administrator at an elementary school, so I've mostly been doing a lot of COVID stuff the past 2 years. And my dream would be, I always wanted to do Library of Congress because I loved government work. But I also really would like to be an outreach librarian. So I haven't figured it out yet, but it's a good, but I'm learning along the way in every class, and I hope to graduate this spring.
Oops, that's me. Hi, Robin again. I've got a bachelor's in psychology, a master's in education, and I'm coming at librarianship as a kind of second career. I guess my dream job is really to make information accessible to people through technology, which is why I put what I did on my slide. Did we ever share the results of the membership status poll? Because I'll pop that up right now. I believe, oh, somebody, Julia, Toby, somebody said that it's about 50-50. So I'm really glad that those of you that aren't members yet are joining us tonight so that you can see what we're all about. And pass it on. You're muted.
Thank you. Quite a few people actually did psychology, huh? So my background, I got my bachelor's in psychology from UC Irvine. Obviously, I'm here choosing the data science career pathway. My current position, I'm an assistant user researcher at Blizzard Entertainment. I really want to continue my work in the gaming industry, but as a data scientist. So yeah, that's my dream career.
How about we do a poll on what y'all are interested in? We have one here regarding your program pathway. And it might be after we've kind of shared a little bit about ourselves, we would love to get to know our members a little bit more. So we're going to post a poll right now regarding the program pathway that you're on or that you're interested in. You may select more than one. And because we are limited, it kind of goes down onto question 2 as well. So we would love to see what our members are pursuing.
So as Toby said before, first of all, you don't have to be a member in order to join our events. Everyone's welcome. The only way you do only need to pay if you want the benefits of ASIST, which I think we'll be talking about later on. But the events, which are open to everyone, are really fun. So some events that we are thinking of having and are currently planning is the San Jose currently has something called the Klebler Lab, which has augmented reality and virtual reality. And even though we're virtual and we're online, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be able to have access to these things that our library provides to us. So I'm gonna bring in Mr. John Oakes and we're gonna have a presentation. It's to be determined, but hopefully it'll be early October. And we're also planning to bring in Professor Jumba, who teaches a class on social media. And she is going to talk about, we often talk about social media and how it spreads misinformation and how everyone just shares whatever they see. But social media can also be a really, really good tool for information scientists and how we can use it for good and to benefit people. And that's going to be on October 28th. So mark your calendars. And again, as I said earlier, is that this organization really is based off of what people are interested in, because we have so many different facets. We're research and we're information and we're science and we're data, and we're also interested in libraries. So last year in our past events, a lot of people were interested in AI. So we had 2 AI programs, one with Professor Chen and one with Professor Bolin. And then we also had a movie night, and we had a reoccurring event, which everyone really likes, is What I Wish I Had Known, which I think we'll be doing this year as well, either towards the end of the semester or maybe the beginning of the next. And that's a little opportunity for people to hear from students, specifically alumni of San Jose, who can give you advice on what classes to take or how their career shifted. We've also had events such as like what other things you can do with library science other than just working in the library. So we have this event survey link and you can fill it out. It's put in the chat, and that'll help us be able to create events that pertain to what your interests are.
And for those who are interested, the results for the program pathway survey should be shared right now.
Yeah, really interesting results there. A lot of folks on web programming and information architecture. That's mine as well.
Data science is kind of like second place a little. Oh, no, I lied. Special librarianship is.
Special.
And oh, I'm totally wrong.
No, data science got a solid group of folks.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I see like special librarianship comes up a lot that people talk about, but I still don't fully get like what it is. Like I know there's a special libraries association, but I guess it just means like medical libraries, businesses, stuff like that. Just anything that's not a public or academic library. Yes.
It's actually really interesting. I went to one of their events last year and they're talking about libraries or like archive. I forgot. It had to do with like working with wine and making a database with wine. It was pretty cool. Yeah, very different.
But these basically align with what I would think of as the more information science side of things, which is what ASIST is. So it makes sense that you're all here. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how you can get involved. Toby's going to talk about the national organization in a minute, but I want to focus on our student chapter here. So you're probably wondering, like I was when I first joined student groups here, what they are all about, because unlike student groups you may have participated in undergrad, these groups are all iSchool based and they're all remote. So people are joining from all over the country or outside of the country. So there aren't any in-person events or activities But traditionally what ASIST and other student groups at SJSU have done is create an opportunity for students to get to know each other because the iSchool is remote and virtual. So there aren't those organic ways of meeting people that just sort of happen in an in-person environment. So some ways that you can get involved with our group are on this slide here. So blog posts, we have a blog on our website. We'll put the website link in the chat for you. I think it's over here. Robin can put that in the link. So this executive committee has just started. We all just took office in August. So if you look at it, you see we only have 2 blogs up there so far this semester. Thank you to Ariana, who created both of those. So an opportunity for you is to write something for the blog. There is a student research journal at SJSU if you're writing more of a serious research article, but for our blog, you can write anything you want about a topic related to information science, or even more broadly, like your experience at SJSU, maybe a helpful resource you found. The sky is the limit, really. We just ask that you send us a brief little write-up message about what you want to write about before you do it, just to make sure it works. And writing for the blog is great because it gives you exposure. You can use it towards your e-portfolio, which is super important later on here at SJSU. You put on your resume, or if you have a personal website, it's great for all that. The other way you can get involved is to attend events. You're attending one right now, so you can get to know people at events when we have the Q&A portions or more open forum type events. And you can also supplement what you've learned in class with information from a range of presenters in information sciences. So please do attend events. We love to see you. And if you can't make it, they're usually recorded so you can watch them later. Another way you can get involved is submit your ideas for events. If you have an idea for an event or a speaker or something like the LinkedIn Learning Challenge that ASIS did last year, where we sort of had a contest to see who could do the most LinkedIn learning courses. We very much want to know what you want to see and do so we can work on creating events that you want to attend. And lastly, please do follow us on social media. I'm just now ramping up our Instagram account, which we didn't have before. So I'd love for everyone to follow that and engage with us there. We also have a Facebook group and a Twitter account, though that one has just kind of gotten started. And you can find the information about our social media on the website. And the Facebook group is just SJSU ASIS if you search for it. And now I'm going to turn it over to Toby. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the national organization. Before I jump into it, we are going to do another poll. I'm just trying to keep y'all busy a little bit, and we're going to ask you what you think some of the benefits are. So you should see a poll. Which of the following is not a benefit of national membership?
I like whoever made this one. The options are very friendly.
There's a totally shocking leader in this poll so far.
Yes, although we wish we could sit here and tell you that by joining the ASIS National Organization, you will get bottomless margaritas at Chili's nationwide. Unfortunately, we haven't secured that partnership yet. We're still trying. We're working on it for you, everybody. I know that it's a priority. But unfortunately, we haven't yet secured it. However, you do get a lot of benefits. Online subscription to SJSU. So that is a magazine, and it's really comprehensive. Actually, you also get that physically mailed to you, and it is looking at topics and research that is being done in the field. Overall, the national organization, it is a professional organization, so focused on communication within the field, collaboration within the field, networking, professional development and learning opportunities, furthering their research in a lot of different areas of information science and technology. So the SJSU magazine it focuses on those same things and looks at the research that is ongoing in the field right now. So if you're kind of feeling like you don't really know where you want to go within information science and technology, I can really, I have felt the same way and really struggled with a lot of different interests within it. So going through the magazine is a great way to kind of see what's going on and maybe narrow down your interests. We also get access to a lot of free webinars. There is a mentoring program. There are what are called SIGs, special interest groups, and there are different awards that members of ASIS can be eligible for. So there are definitely a lot of benefits for that national membership. As students know, through the Info 200 class, we are given a year membership to one of the organizations, whether that's special libraries or American Library Association. Maybe you chose to join the ASIS national organization through that class. If you did not, you can, and you are interested and you would like to join the national organization to get some of those benefits, it's $45 for a student membership. So it's not too expensive for a student membership. Definitely if you're kind of on the way out of your program and you want to secure that student membership while you're still an enrolled student, that's definitely a great idea, while you can still have that reduced membership fee. If you have joined through Info 200, but you haven't created an account on the website yet, definitely encourage you to go ahead and do that using your SJSU email. You would be able to create your national account. You do need to renew yearly, and if you are involved with a national organization, we definitely encourage everyone to get involved in the community and read the magazine. And the best way, I would say, to get involved in the community is to join some of the SIGs, or the special interest groups. As we mentioned before, there is a diverse variety of interests within information science and technology. And, the two people who are on this executive committee, or two people who are in this Zoom right now, may be looking at totally different facets of this industry and of this field. So special interest groups are a great way to kind of narrow down and see exactly where your interests lie and where you'd like to continue with your career. It also helps you to network with professionals in really niche areas, kind of gives you that networking and that access. And there are a lot of specialized events and webinars that come through the special interest groups. All right, so often folks don't know about special interest groups. I did not know about special interest groups. I think we were just having a chat with the committee before we started this about how it wasn't exactly something that your attention was drawn to right away. So we are going to do another poll to see what special interest groups you think they might have. So we are going to launch a poll right now, special interest groups trivia. So it is another, which of the following are not? So which of the following are not special interest groups within the national organization? So most of these are. One of these is not going to be a special interest group. Make your best guess.
I honestly don't know the answer to this one. And I've gone on there. There's so many. So I'm just like,
Annabelle, great question. Great question. Yes, we'll pop the link into the chat with the page of the website with the special interest groups information. And the next few slides are going to talk about each of them briefly. There are 18 different special interest groups, so we're not going to be able to dive into all of them. But again, this is hopefully going to give you the opportunity, if you are already a national member, to go and, as you mentioned, go and do that research on your own. Or if you're not a member, we hope to introduce you to what some of the special interest groups are, so that you can hopefully make a decision about whether you do see some more benefits to that membership. If you are not yet a member and you're kind of going back and forth on whether or not to pay that $45, hopefully this can help you make your decision. If you'd still like more information and you're unable to access that information without the membership, please do reach out to us and we'd be happy to share additional information on the different special interest groups. All right, so I am going to go ahead and end the poll. And the result, which of the following is not a special interest group? Unfortunately, biology is not a special interest group. Metrics, digital libraries, artificial intelligence, information ethics and policy, knowledge management, and social informatics are some of the SIGs. And although there is no biology special interest groups, there is a health informatics special interest group. So if you are interested in kind of biology, biotech, things down that line, health informatics may be a good one for you. Right, so if we could go to the next slide.
I had to break that one into 2 questions because the Zoom
That's okay. We'll
invitations-
just do the one. I'm just going to do the one for time purposes. So yeah, we'll just introduce to what those different special interest groups are. So again, not going to go into too much detail with each of these because there are quite a few and we don't want to talk your ears off in this Zoom event, but definitely a broad variety. So arts and humanities, humanistic implications, artificial intelligence, I think is pretty self-explanatory on that one. Classification research. So if you are interested in cataloging, classification, ontology, that's a great one. Digital libraries is looking at digital libraries in corporate, academic, and public contexts as well. So kind of looking everywhere there. Education for information science, looking at curriculum design, research, instructional resources, and methods. There are a lot of opportunities for educational positions within the platforms like Web of Science, the EBSCO platforms, things like that. And as I mentioned, the health informatics, so the application of information science to biomedical science and healthcare, as well as related social and ethical issues. And we got 12 more for you, so we'll go on to the next slide. Okay, history and foundations. Personally, I find this one to be not so interesting, but maybe this is your thing. History and foundations, increasing the understanding of the history behind information science. InfoLearn is looking at cognitive and social processes that facilitate learning. Information ethics and policy, kind of as it sounds like, is looking at the ethics and policy, legislation and regulation that is currently affecting the field, as well as developing additional legislation that may be beneficial for the field. Information needs, seeking, and use. Again, kind of similar to some of the content we would see in that Info 200 class, behavioral and cognitive activities as far as how those interact with information in different contexts. If you are looking more internationally, there is international information issues. So promoting international cooperation and facilitating communication internationally. Knowledge management, this is going to be a big one if you are looking at getting into the private sector. There are opportunities for knowledge management in a huge variety of different industries. So anything to do with the creation, documentation, sharing, and management of knowledge and information. All right, and one more slide for this. Thank you so much. Metrics, if you're looking at that data science, kind of going down the data pathways, that might be a good fit. The development and networking of the measurement of information. We also have organizational information management. So kind of similar, some crossover there with knowledge management. This is looking a little bit more at managing that for professional employees in certain settings rather than overall knowledge management, maybe a larger umbrella, which could be for public and private sector, nonprofit as well. So organizational information management is going to be a little bit more focused than on the organizations. Science and technical information, focused on how we produce, organize, and disseminate that type of information. Social informatics and social media. So social media is kind of similar to the event that we are looking to put on, which is looking at how we can use social media for good, how we can use that to prevent misinformation. That's just one topic that you might see in the social media special interest group. Social informatics is looking a little bit more at kind of the social impact of information, the way that information technology is used in social contexts and how it's influenced by social forces. So some overlap again there, but not so much focus on specifically social media. And finally, visualization, images, and sound. So some of you who are interested in special libraries, if you're interested in perhaps music libraries or cataloging or archiving music, I can speak, I swear. Visualization, images, and sound would be a good special interest group for you to look into. But obviously there are a lot. As we said, there are 18 of these, and it is maybe a little bit of information overload. And we definitely encourage you to go to the website, take a look at some of these different special interest groups and see where your interests lie. I personally started out by subscribing or joining like 6 or 7 and slowly kind of backed off of that as I started to get more of the emails, see more of the events and webinars that the SIGs were putting together, and see where my interest truly lay within those different ones. So this is a great way if you're kind of figuring out where you want to go in this field, in this industry. Joining and exploring the special interest groups is a great way to gain more information about what opportunities are out there. And then when you get that, to really connect with professionals who are working in the field, connect to the research, and connect to different webinars and opportunities to continue to learn even more. All right, and we will have time at the end for kind of a Q&A. So if you do have any questions, you can feel free to put them in the chat now, and we can circle back around, or we can go over this again, and you can ask any questions you may have at the end. I do have one more poll for y'all, although we just kind of threw all that at you. We're going to give you a moment to look at it in poll form, and you can kind of choose and report where some of your interests may lie. So you should see a poll up now, interest in special interest groups. So go ahead and look through those and select whichever ones you think you might be interested in. This is hopefully going to help show us where interests lie within the organization and within the iSchool overall. And again, tailor events to those interests that we see. And hopefully it helps you as well to just think about these different special interest groups and see which ones you yourself might be interested in joining. And thank you all for listening. Very interesting. So digital libraries is kind of, looks like kind of winning right now, although arts and humanities is a close second.
I'm gonna put a link. I'm put a link in the chat here to a webinar that the Arts and Humanities SIG did earlier this year, because it's so weird and wild.
Is that the graffiti one?
No, it's the one where they used dendrography, which is like something to do with fungus, I think. And they somehow did like scientific measurements of Cézanne's paintings. I don't know. You just have to click the link. It's just so wild what they're doing, what people are doing with information science and art.
Thanks for sharing that on the screen, Robin. Yeah. And in the chat, and that looks super interesting. Yeah, we're also seeing a lot of interest in knowledge management.
So did that pop on the screen? Did that wipe out the slideshow?
Oh yeah, we can see the assist page now.
Whoops.
That's all
I mean,
right.
I totally did that on purpose. Totally.
Roll with it.
Yeah.
Okay, some interest in the visualization, images and sound. Interesting. This is very helpful for us. And again, we will be able to kind of take this data and make sure that we have events and speakers and opportunities tailored to the interests of members and non-members. But hopefully that overview of some of the ASIS National Organization has helped give you some insight into the benefits of membership. Again, it's $45 for a student membership if you are interested in joining, and you would get access to all that we have mentioned, as well as these SIGs, special interest groups. But once more, you do not have to be a member to attend the student chapter events. And I'm gonna go ahead and end that poll and share results real quick, and then pass it over to Adi after.
I just want to say to the brave soul that did choose history and foundations after Toby threw shade, thank you. I thought it'd be interesting. I didn't even know that was one.
History is important. We got to know where we come from.
It's true. It's true. It's true. I take it all back. I take it all back. I'm going to join it right now.
I'm going to write like an epic blog post of one of their events that I go to.
Turns out that's where my career ends up. Yes, because I said this today.
Yeah, so I'm Ari. I'm kind of going to split this into 2 sections for student resources. one more to kind of ensure your success throughout the program. And so that's the school portion of it. And the other one's going to be like the work portion, you know, how to find success in finding a career while in the program or even after you graduate. So yeah, next slide, please. I apologize, Robin. I've done like animation, so I'll just tell you when to click for the little animation thing. First and foremost, I think like the best piece of advice I've ever received from someone who graduated here was that your school experience is work, and like all the projects you do is work. So just because you don't get paid doesn't mean you can't put it in a resume. So I highly suggest that even though the e-portfolio is something that you do at the end, you could actually start it right now. Do you mind if you click real quick? Yeah, so for those who are new, I'm sure people who've been in the program already kind of know, but on the Canvas in your account, the very top tab, you could click on e-portfolios, and then here's like an example of an e-portfolio that I submitted to work at Blizzard. If you can click again. So that's like an old resume. You could really format it however you want. This isn't reflective of like the e-portfolio you're gonna make at the end. But if you don't know like a place to host your projects, like maybe you build a website or maybe you work on databases or things like that, I think this is a great place to host it. Can you click one more? Yeah, and those who already took Info 200 or who are going to take it, just showcasing your blog here, it's really useful. So yeah, so go ahead and start on the e-portfolio. Another thing I kind of want to talk about, because I don't think I really hear much information about it, is the portfolio versus thesis. According to one of the advisors I reached out to, I think she said more than 9 out of 10 students do the portfolio. So with that said, if you do that, I would highly suggest you use the student success planner you were given in Info 203. Just because if you're going a certain route, like I did the data science route, and I was lacking in competency B, C, and K, and you kind of have to showcase or prove your work that you're meeting the competency, and I was kind of lacking there. So, you know, getting started early will just save you the stress later, like why didn't I take this class, or yeah, just things like that. I'm kind of leaning towards the thesis. What you should know if you want to do the thesis is one, it may delay your graduation date from like a year to 2. So you should definitely plan early if you want to do the thesis. The second thing is that if you want to work like in a research library or call it like an academic library, they sometimes expect you to have published work. So the thesis is a good route, and some companies like at mine, I work with people with PhDs, and that's a good place to start because some PhD programs do want you to have published work. So just throwing that out there, if you want to do thesis, it's going to take some time, but it might be worth for your career path. Next slide, please. And then, yes, my favorite part, you get all this awesome free software while you're a student, so you got to use it. Of course, you get Microsoft Office or Word, PowerPoint, Excel, but you also get Adobe Creative Cloud. So if you want to do like digital, like design, make content, flyers for the library, definitely do that. They have Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects if you want to do videos. Personally, I've used SPSS and Qualtrics, not just at school, but at my job because I do write surveys. So having that resource and practicing it at school and then going to work, like I know how to use that, really helps. And can you just click that little picture? So yeah, you can find all these downloadable resources on eCampus, and they also have workshop and events. So I kind of want to attend that Qualtrics Advances like in the screenshot. They have like seminars for learning how to use Photoshop. So it's actually really cool. So that's all for like the schoolwork stuff to show it off. And then I'll go on to the next slide, please. So job opportunities, you like have to go to the Career Center like at least once. Like they help me out so much. You could get one-on-one counseling for your resume. They actually looked over my LinkedIn, so they saw my profile, and yeah, they're just so helpful, not just non-judgmental. So if you're like insecure about showing off your work, like really they're there to help. With that said, they also have the website Handshake, which is like a mini LinkedIn kind of like for the students there. Do you mind clicking? I just have like a little picture. Yeah, what I like about Handshake is that when you go on LinkedIn and you type MLIS, like it's kind of hard to find things towards that major, but I feel like Handshake really, how would I say this? I just like caters towards your interest. So as I mentioned, I want to do the data science route, and I like the gaming industry, and these were all events that were like given to me. So data science for all. That bottom one that says Ubisoft is a gaming company, and I got a network with some guy there who actually did go to San Jose State and did work at Blizzard previously. So it's just really good for networking. And the last thing you have to do, okay, I'm just like throwing have to's, but you should do is LinkedIn Learning. If you could click real quickly. Yeah, I think it was Quinn who mentioned it. Last year we had like a challenge for doing courses. This was like what I participated in as well. I did Python because that's pretty big for data science, big data, data analytics. Yeah, it's just really good to learn and hone like skills if you can't really take it while you're in this program, and you earn certificates. So you kind of get to show that off in your LinkedIn profile. So yeah. If you didn't know, like if you're already here and you knew about this stuff, like, sorry, I just kind of reiterated things, but if you didn't, I hope you learned something new. Solid. I try to zoom through that so we could do that Q&A and talk to people.
Yeah, absolutely. That was great. Thank you. I definitely learned some things.
Yay. I think I got like a ping from Lauren. She's like, I didn't know that. I was like, yes, it's working. I taught someone something new.
Oh, okay. I have a comment. Tried to get into LinkedIn Learning, says all the licenses are taken. Has that happened to anyone else? Has anyone else experienced that?
That's never happened to me, but maybe if you tried going through like your My SJSU instead of just LinkedIn Learning. I don't know how you were going through it, but if you go directly through My SJSU, maybe it'll help.
Yeah, I was gonna say that link that Robin put might have like IT support, but as far as I know, I didn't have any issues logging in either. But if you already do have a LinkedIn account as well, you could link your LinkedIn Learning to that too. So you don't have to make a separate account. So I'm not too sure, but if you want to reach out, I could like help you walk through that process. But if it's anything beyond my control, then you might want to talk to IT.
Thanks, Annabelle.
Oh, thanks, Robin. I remember working with you in Info 203.
Something that we haven't mentioned yet, but that is a benefit of any of the student organizations is, of course, the opportunity to hold an executive committee position. So we usually send that out in about April, spring semester, any openings and an application if you are interested in joining the executive committee for the next academic year. I think there are a number of us who are graduating or hoping to graduate either in spring or in fall. So I'm sure there will be opportunities to join the executive committee, keeping an eye on that kind of, and that'll go out to all students. So again, not just, I think that'll go out to all students.